What's up guys? In today's video we're going to be taking a look at a scenario where Austria forms forms an empire. So we're going to be looking at the scenario, and of course, as I said, always all the global alliances, NATO, not even alliance, like just like the UN, EU, NATO, all of that, like every single, like nobody is aligned. Nobody has allies, nobody is aligned, nothing. And also, the country that we do as usual is getting a buff, so in this scenario it's Austria getting a buff. Yep. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoy this video. If you do, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. Okay, so here we have Austria. The capital, Vienna, is pretty sure it's around there. I don't know exactly. I'm pretty sure it's around there. And so Austria's first target is quite obvious actually. If you look at their neighbours, you have Italy, Germany, Switzerland. We're not going to include Liechtenstein. Czechia, Slovakia, Hungary, and Slovenia. It's quite obvious actually because they really need this, and that's Slovenia, obviously for sea access, because that'll benefit their nation majorly. And so the Austrians will have the element of surprise to their side, and they have a way stronger army. They manage to cut through here and cut this off. They come around here and they just start an all-out offensive. They can't really find any jump off, like any strategic points, so they can't really encircle or anything apart from here, where they head around a bit and get in the circle this and here. But otherwise, that's pretty much all. And Slovenia, seeing that they're majorly outnumbered, they'll capitulate. And Slovenia will get annexed into Austria. Next thing that happens is, so this is the map now, sorry. This is the map. The next thing that happens is them attacking Croatia, which, like I do in most, wrong color. Like I do in most videos, you'll see it's same, like in most videos where they decided Croatia, it'll be the same strategy, since there's not much other strategies to do, to be honest. Apart from the strategy where you just cut through the middle like so, and that splits up the whole country. So you after you just do an out offensive, and then here you encircle around here. It's basic military knowledge. And after that you can just cut through here and circle all that. And after that you got this island, which you take, Istria, which you take as well. And basically, this part's basically done, let's be honest. So this, because they can't really get away, can they? And then over here we have the south part, which their capital they've moved the capital to split by now. So there's basically like just going through it, so they can't really, Austria can only just push. So in this treaty, we will see that Austria once again fully annexes the country. I'm gonna try and get every single, there we go. Oh no. There we go. So now Austria, it's clear that they have sea access, which is good for them. Their next target is Hungary, who they demand that they get subjugated to Austria, and Hungary refuse. So Austria starts pushing inwards into the west of Hungary, and they try and push their little encirclement down there, which they manage to get. And in the south, they're just pushing. They're trying to go to Budapest in the south, which is roughly there. So they're just gonna continue pushing. But so they think they're moving to Budapest, so they're going to like try and move divisions to get there. But instead, they cut around and encircle all this. And then once they take the Slovakian border, it's basically done, because they can't get to any other country apart from Austria. And Austria at war with them. So over here, they crossed the big river going through and splitting the country. Or no, not really a river, is it? And after that, once Budapest falls, it's basically capitulation time. And once again, they get fully indexed into Austria. Sure, Austria built like a nice little fort right now. Well, not fort, but yeah. Their next target is Slovakia, but Czechia will join, seeing that they will probably be next. No, not. I misclicked. So they will just walk into their capital, since it's right beside their border, and then start walking into Slovakia. But obviously, since Czechia joined straight away, they also didn't expect that. So then Czechia starts going into Austria. Oh wait, no, that was a... They start going into Austria. Once a few Austrian forces arrive, they'll probably kick them out. But for now, we're back to Slovakia, where they get pushed out, and they manage to split up Czechia and Slovakia, and this is pretty much the end for Slovakia. Yeah, they just capitulate after this part. So from here, they push into Czechia. And here, Czechia tries to make a push for the capital, almost getting it since it's roughly there. They try to make a push for the capital. Well, actually, I think they're almost there. There's like a bit here, there, I think. But here's what the trick comes. As I've showed in other videos, they just go around them and just encircle the whole thing, and then they're dead. That's basically half of the Czecho army, and then this part just basically falls apart. They don't have many men in this border. And now it's really the end for Czechia, because they just get pushed back. And without even Prague getting captured, they just capitulate to save their people, hoping to get a good treaty as well. Which, in this case, they do not get good treaty at all. They both get 40 next. And you can see that right here. So now it's starting to look a bit like the Austrian Empire before the Austro-Hungarian Empire happened, like just before World War One, before the Hungarians demanded to have power as well. I'm not sure on the before World War One history, so if I'm wrong, correct me. But I'm pretty sure that was like Hungary demanded to have a bit of power because they were mad or something. The next target is Serbia. And Serbia is strong, but not strong enough, especially when they're not expecting it. Well, they were expecting it, but they were expecting them to go for Romania first, and when they went for Romania, they would join in and catch them off guard. And then, for not too long, they captured Belgrade, And after that, there's this. Yeah, it's kind of. They get the coast of our border, and this part's just fully gone. Yeah, it's capitulation time. They don't have much to do there. In this treaty, Austria don't fully annex them. They take the old Austro-Hungarian parts and the old Austrian Empire parts, which are the same parts of Serbia, the north, and they don't just let Serbia off the hook though. They puppet them. They puppet them, yeah. And the next target is Romania. Now Armenia once again is stronger than the versions before, like Slovakia or Slovenia. I'd even argue that right now, after this war, this Romanians would definitely be stronger due to them losing a lot of men, especially in this encirclement that was over here. But they're the puppet now, so it doesn't matter. Although Serbia won't be called into this war due to them having to rebuild and the Austrians choosing not to bring them into the war, Romanians will be expecting it, so it was a bit hard advancing, especially down this little mountain line down. Wait, they're not really accurate. Especially the Transylvanian area down here. Those mountains, they're gonna be really hard to cross. Obviously, Austria also went this little part over here. But for now, that's, yeah. Okay, so the Austrians continue with the offense. Now the troops go through the Serbian border and cut through here, which since Serbia wasn't in the war, many didn't expect. And they have a good push towards Brasov. I don't know if I'm saying that right, sorry. If there's any Romanians watching this, I don't know if I'm saying that right, sorry. But they're pushing towards Brasov and Bucharest. So now they have to move some forces, but now that leaves a few openings in the north, as well as in, well, like, the center of the front, if you're taking all that part of the center here. And they managed to encircle there and here. So they're pushing forwards. And it's basically like a straight line front, so it's basically kind of like World War One of the trenches, and it's just a straight line front. So they're going to try and break that. They're going to go around, capture that encirclement. And they're going to try and go around here. They'll go ahead and capture Bucharest. I think they actually might have already. And then there's just basically one city here that they'll take. These two down here, but once they take those two, it'll be done. So they continue the Romanians. They capture this rather big city, Comedia ones, and they capture the other big city where the capital was moved to. And then they cut through here, and yeah. Before the men can beat it, who are encircled there die, they capitulate. Okay, so I'm not going to do a full restoration of the Austro-Hungarian Empire, or just in general of the Austrian Empire. But it's supposed to be a new empire. Okay, no, that's definitely not well drawn borders. I was gonna say it's like that. I don't know exactly how it's gonna work. So they're gonna demand this from Ukraine, this little part over here, and since they have an active threat from the Russians, they're due to accept, due to a threat of a two-front war of two, what I'd say major powers of Europe. I wouldn't say a major power in the world, Austria. I'd still say strong power in the world, maybe like top 15. In the top 15, I'd say. Definitely in the top 20. So, yeah, they don't really want, the second best military in the world, and like top 15 military in the world against them from two sides, because they're probably like the 20th, I'd say maybe, due to builds up because of the Russian threat. The next target is the Germans. The Germans, particularly the rebels in Germany, which they'll be funded by Austria. So we're going to put them in Germany in a weird yellow color, because they're in a civil war, they're not in the war with Austria. And we have Austria funding multiple separatist groups, one of them being Bavaria, which is roughly that, I think. I'm not exact on the board on the regions. They also have the kind of controversial one. They have the Rhineland region, the region where the Rhineland is, breaking away. And then they also have some Prussians breaking away, which is just gonna basically take control of the east. And then up here, so there's 3 different separatist groups in Germany right now, and Austria is funding them and helping them with military. Could this get any worse to Germany? It definitely could. If the Netherlands wanted to reclaim this little piece of territory, then it definitely could. Or if France wanted a teeny piece of this, or even if Poland wanted a little slice of like a literal just straight line. So it could definitely get worse. So here we see the Germans mainly pushing on the Prussians, trying to make sure that these two don't connect and these two. So they're trying to push that away from happening, and push them away from Berlin, which is roughly there. So the Prussians are getting pushed back. They also try and push back the Rhineland, the nation of the Rhine. That's what they want to call it. Which is going to get pushed back quite quick compared to the other ones. And Germans do well so far. But the Bavarians are too strong. And the Bavarians push outwards. And these are not any Bavarians, these are pro-Austrian Bavarians. So they connect. And now the Germans now are in big problems, since the Prussians can go over here freely and take away their sea access apart from here. So now they'll just push down towards Dortmund, which is roughly down there. They'll encircle this a little bit. The Prussians captured Berlin with the Austrian aid, which wouldn't be everything you'd expect to hear every single day, but. And then now pretty much the Germans have to capitulate, and they do. And now we can see the new borders, which Austria takes the Bavarian and Silesian region. Well, that region. The Bavarians get to form their own country, not Bavaria, New Germany, under a puppet state, as puppet state of the Austrians. Which they get this piece of land and this piece of land. So all the things that are colored are puppets. So down's the main puppet color, but it's to separate the multiple German puppets. I'm gonna put it like this if they're color. The Bavarian color is basically light blue. The Rhine, they go a bit further than the Rhine. They go roughly there. So the Rhine, the country of the Rhine takes that. And then Prussia takes the rest. And obviously we redo the borders of Austria. Okay, so now Austria have one last target. Italy. Mainly for this part of land over here. Actually, I think it's a bit more around there. But that's basically why. And now Italy are in trouble because the Austrians are here, and the Austrians are way stronger than the start. So the Austrians push in straight away into here. And over in the east, connecting and getting away from Austrian land. And here they have a little encirclement near Venice. Here they push down towards the south, which is, we'll see why in a few seconds, maybe minutes. Here they start pushing towards the south, and they do a spearhead through here, and that cuts off half of Italy. They can only go navally to here or there or down here. And the Austrian Navy is over here since they've already got there. So pretty much this piece of land just gets absolutely destroyed by the Austrians. And once they have no more land war, this part just capitulates. So now the next part. They go down south, aiming to go towards Rome, which is the obvious target. They manage to capture Rome. Next site is Naples. Or Napoli, whatever you call it. Because some people call it, I don't know, it really depends on the language. And on how you say it. So here is multiple encirclements, which loses immense amounts of men for Italy. Here, down here, the next target is Taranto. They head down, and they split it up again. They capture it, and now they just capitulate. So I did forget the code of these two, but yeah. It's the same case as the mainland Italy. Okay, so well, the peace treaty. So Austria will annex various lands of Italy. These ones, precisely. So just if the Austrian land's taken, this is what remains of Italy. The next thing they'll do is, well, it's really just giving states independence, which is just the north in general. The north, which I'm going to put in light green. The next one, like a Salvan, like more like, well, like it's got more like a mafia-esque vibe, like how the American TV shows like The Simpsons think of like the Salvan era. This part will be in light grey. it's kind of like the Italian flag put that in red, actually. Next is they give independence to the Papal States, which go roughly like that. We'll color them in yellow. So it's basically just the Vatican getting bigger. And down here, we will have, it's like like the Roman Empire when it used to be the Roman Republic. Only this is the Napoleon, as in like Naples or Napoli, whatever you call it. Napoli is the club, but Naples. So that state, and that is the final map result. They could definitely just invade Switzerland and split between Bavaria, take this little piece of land for them, and then give the rest to Italy in the south. But yeah, that's not. If you want to see a part 2 of this, let me know. I'll do it. Otherwise, if you don't, then I won't, because honestly, it's going to be very hard to redraw this, and I'm not going to save this map to it being the same map as always. This is the end map. If you want to see a fully next map of all puppets, Austria would basically conquer all. If you're interested, like the whole map of. Why? Is there a hole somewhere? Basically, no, not the red outline, but the big red, well, blob kind, if you want. State, that's what they would own if they fully next to every puppet. But this right here is the final map. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit the like button and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.